Skincare is split into two worlds right now. World 1, interventions with real clinical evidence that change the biology of skin aging. World 2, expensive longevity skincare that's basically science fiction with great marketing. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to rank a 6-level skin longevity ladder from what works today, sunscreen and retinoids, all the way to topical rapamycin, exosomes, 3D bioprinting, and even CRISPR. And I'll tell you exactly what is real in 2026, what's promising but unproven, and what's mostly hype. Welcome, I'm Tom Graham. I'm a doctor, and for nearly 2 decades, I used to meet disease at its worst. Heart attacks, strokes, heart failure. Now we can act earlier, measure risk sooner, understand aging biology, and prevent problems before they become diagnoses. That's why I started this channel, Longevity Verified. Skincare is part of that, not beauty. Biology. Your skin reflects inflammation, hormones, UV, sleep, nutrition, and metabolic health. I'll focus on what works, what doesn't, and routines that protect your skin first. Quick note, this channel is for education, not personal medical advice. If you have symptoms or medical decisions to make, talk to your own clinician. Before we climb the ladder, here's the uncomfortable truth. Most anti-aging content ignores the boring interventions that dominate outcomes, so I'm adding a level 0, the foundations that actually change skin aging, because they reduce damage while everything else tries to repair it. Level 0 is photoprotection, retinoids, antioxidants, and barrier support. Photoprotection is the highest return longevity skincare intervention. Daily broad-spectrum sunscreen isn't cosmetic. Done consistently, it reduces UV-driven DNA damage signals and the collagen-destroying enzymes that drive wrinkles and texture changes. There's also evidence that more complete protection, covering beyond UVB into longer UVA and visible light, matters for pigmentation and photoaging. Retinoids are the gold standard active. Prescription tretinoin has the strongest evidence because it pushes skin toward healthier collagen balance. More synthesis, less breakdown, and better organization over time. Over-the-counter retinol can help too, but it's generally less potent and results vary with formulation. Then barrier support, ceramides, cholesterol, and fatty acids. This is the brick-and-mortar architecture that keeps water in and irritation out. A compromised barrier makes every active harder to tolerate and every result less consistent. Concrete example, if someone asks me what's the one routine that matters, it's this level 0 stack. Protect, stimulate collagen biology, control oxidative stress, and keep the barrier intact. Level 1 is internal support. Supplements that have at least some controlled trial evidence for skin endpoints. 2 big ones are oral collagen peptides and oral hyaluronic acid. The clinically plausible story is that some collagen fragments aren't just protein. They may act as signals that reach the dermis and influence fibroblast behavior. Trials report improvements in hydration and elasticity measures in some populations, real but modest. Think structural maintenance, not transformation. Oral hyaluronic acid is similar. It's aiming at hydration and extracellular matrix support. Again, set expectations. The signal is improved hydration and fine texture over weeks, not instant reversal. And one that matters for longevity beyond appearance, nicotinamide, a form of vitamin B3, has data in skin biology tied to DNA repair and UV immunosuppression pathways. Important because skin longevity isn't just wrinkles, it's also long-term cancer risk and resilience. Concrete example, if you're going to spend money, level 0 and level 1 should come before lasers, needles, or exotic clinic menus. Level 2 is autologous concentrates. PRP is the headline. PRP is not a miracle serum. It's a variable biological concentrate from your own blood. It contains growth factors like PDGF, TGF-beta, VEGF, EGF, signals involved in wound healing, collagen remodeling, and vascular responses. What's real today? Studies show improvements in some skin quality parameters and patient-reported outcomes, and PRP can be a useful adjuvant, especially when paired with procedures that trigger remodeling, like lasers or microneedling. What's hype? Vampire facial marketing implies predictable, dramatic rejuvenation. Reality is heterogeneity, different prep methods, different platelet concentrations, different injection techniques, different patient biology. Your result is limited by the health of your cells and the consistency of the protocol. Concrete example, if a clinic can't tell you what PRP system they use, what the intended platelet concentration range is, and how they standardize treatment intervals, that's a red flag. In regenerative medicine, variability is the enemy of truth. Level 3 is where skincare becomes longevity biology, targeting cellular senescence and the mTOR pathway. Rapamycin is an mTOR inhibitor. mTOR is a master regulator of cellular growth and metabolism. With age, mTOR signaling can become overactive, pushing cells toward a dysfunctional state. Less repair, less autophagy, more inflammatory noise. What's new and interesting? A small exploratory human trial used low-dose topical rapamycin on photo-age skin and reported reductions in a key senescence marker, P16, alongside histologic improvements like reduced solar elastosis and improved basement membrane collagen organization. What's real today? This is promising early human evidence, biologically coherent, but not yet mainstream dermatology. Formulation matters, dose matters, treatment duration matters. Long-term safety in healthy populations is still not fully mapped. What you should do right now: do not DIY prescription drugs because you saw a TikTok. If you're curious, follow the clinical protocols as they evolve and discuss risk-benefit with a qualified clinician. The idea is compelling, but the execution must be medical, not influencer-led. Concrete example: if you hear topical rapamycin reverses aging, that's hype. The realistic claim is it may reduce certain features of senescence and photodamage biology in some settings. That's a very different standard, and a safer one. Level 4 is regenerative signaling, where aesthetics starts to overlap with real regenerative medicine. Adipose-derived approaches matter because fat isn't just volume, it's a source of regenerative signaling molecules, what people call secretome. The plausible biology is improved dermal environment, less collagen breakdown, more structural support, more antioxidant capacity. Then exosomes. These are nano-sized vesicles carrying proteins and microRNAs that influence repair and inflammation. Early human studies and small reviews suggest improvements in texture, elasticity, and scarring parameters, sometimes with surprisingly durable effects. But here's the key. Protocol standardization is still a mess, and the market is flooded with products that use the word exosome without clear provenance, purity, dosing, or safety oversight. Concrete example: if you can't answer, is this human-derived, plant-derived synthetic mimic or conditioned media, you're not buying science, you're buying a label. Level 5 is 3D bioprinting, moving from repairing skin to fabricating skin. This is already real in wound and burn research. Printing layered constructs with keratinocytes and fibroblasts, exploring vascular networks so the tissue survives, and even working toward appendages like hair follicles and sweat glands. What's likely next? Clinical-grade printed skin for complex wounds, then reconstruction, and only later aesthetic applications. The bottlenecks are not trivial: vascularization, innervation, immune integration, durability, and regulation. But conceptually, it's a step change, replacing damaged tissue with living, functional tissue. Concrete example: in the future, scar revision could mean printing patient-specific, pigment-matched, vascularized skin rather than cutting and stretching what's already damaged. Level 6 is gene and epigenetic intervention. This is the edge of what's imaginable. CRISPR can be used to interrogate aging pathways and in principle modify them. But delivery, off-target risk, immune reactions, and ethics are the hard constraints, not the headlines. A more realistic near-term path is therapeutic mRNA delivery, temporary instructions rather than permanent edits, aimed at restoring stem cell function and improving repair without permanently rewriting DNA. And then there's epigenetic editing, changing which genes are switched on or off, potentially nudging old cells toward a more youthful functional program without altering the underlying sequence. That's the direction many serious groups are watching. Concrete example: when people say CRISPR will make you young, that's fantasy marketing. The real future is targeted, local, clinically governed interventions, first for disease and reconstruction, much later for elective rejuvenation. So what should you do right now? First, photoprotection is non-negotiable. This is prevention that beats repair. Second, retinoids if tolerated. Start low, go slow. Consistency wins. Third, support the barrier. If your barrier is inflamed, everything else backfires. Fourth, be cautious with procedures and regenerative claims. Ask about evidence level, protocol standardization, and realistic outcomes. And if you want me to rank your current routine using the longevity verified framework, put it in the comments. Level 0 only, supplements, PRP. Would you ever consider topical rapamycin under clinician supervision? Or are you watching bioprinting and gene therapy from a safe distance? Subscribe to Longevity Verified. No hype, just truth, and a clear view of where medicine is leading us. Stay curious, stay skeptical, stay longevity verified.